Welcome back to the Uncle Bob Crypto Podcast, number 34. I'm here with Bitman. Bitman, if you don't know about him, he's a very well-followed trader on crypto Twitter. He has his own group. And here is his bio. It says, scroll down and see for yourself. 70% accuracy. I trade what TAs tells me. Highs, bottoms, breakouts, brackets. No financial advice. DM to join the Bitman family. And to be honest, I have a friend who does trade. He trades regularly, and he says he's really, really good. So I thought I'd get you on the show and to tell us what your psychology is. How come you're so good, Bitman?
Hey, thanks for having me, man. Yeah, definitely. I would like to answer your questions. So I don't think that anybody starts trading profitably, right? Whenever we start out, all of us are kind of here to lose money at first. I entered crypto with the mentality that I'm going to make enough money to buy a Lamborghini next year, and I was wrong. So when the market crashed in 2018, it was kind of a wake-up call for everyone that Bitcoin doesn't just go up, and you just have to wake up and realize that this is not going to be a get-rich-quick scheme. So at that point, I started watching a lot of YouTube videos and just started doing my own analysis, just looking at charts. And at that point, first you learn technical analysis. And to be honest, that's the easy part. A lot of people think that trading is about looking at the charts. To be honest, I can teach you technical analysis in a week and you'll be a master at it, because the simpler you keep it, the better it is. But the difficult part about being a trader is the patience and being able to stick to the plan. Just so many times I get this feeling that I want to change my entry, I want to change my stop loss, and just kind of invalidate my entire plan and do something else, be more spontaneous. And that's where it gets you. That's where the market is going to get you. And that is why I think 80 to 90% of people are just not making any money. It's because they're not sticking to the plan, and fundamentally they're not really here to make money. Most people joined after 2018, and since then, crypto has been pretty bearish. Bitcoin's been just going down and up, catching retail traders, every single swing. So most people don't really come here to make money. They're here for the emotional ride, and sometimes when their coin goes up, it makes them really happy. But I think it needs a change in mentality if you want to become a good trader.
Wow, that's really interesting. A few things you said that were quite interesting there was that you can teach TA in a week. And you're absolutely right, because I know TA. I know all of the patterns. I know basically, I've read books on it. I know what I can probably tell you when something's going to break out. I know different kind of candlestick formations.
Yeah.
But you're absolutely right. That somewhere along the line, I lost the simplicity. And keeping it simple. Yeah, are you saying that's a real key to getting it right?
Yeah, I do think so, because a lot of my members, a lot of people on Twitter DM me, how should I start? And I don't really recommend a book, because a book can be too deep for someone, for a beginner. What I like to recommend is you go on TradingView right now and you draw your first line. You kind of get involved. You get your hands dirty. You think of a breakout, you trade it, you lose some money. Until you have skin in the game, you're not going to be serious about it. And I know this because I first started trading when I was 14, but I was using my father's money and I never took it seriously. And I ended up losing most of it. When I started, when I was 18, which is 2 years ago, so I'm still 20. When I was 18, I earned my own money, started giving some tuition classes. And when I put that money into a trade, it's so painful to lose it. And at that point, you become a lot more serious about just everything in general. You really want to grow your balance. And you take it from there.
Interesting. All right, let's go to the next thing. So you said quite a lot there right at the beginning. I want to just dig into it a little bit more. Patience. Why is patience so impossible? Or so impossible? Why is it so important? And why is it so impossible?
Yeah, patience. Patience is a struggle that I think almost every trader has. To this day, you can't really master it, and it just comes with practice. You often realize that your first plan was correct and you shouldn't have changed it. And when that happens over and over again, you just realize that I got to put in the trade and close my screen. A couple weeks ago, I even tweeted something. It was like, put the trade in, put your stop loss, smash your screen, and get out of the room. Because if you stay there looking at the charts, you're just gonna mess up.
That's interesting. Yeah, they call it, what is it? Set and forget. Set it and forget it.
Yeah, set it and forget it. Perfect.
Okay. So you said TA, I can teach it in a week. Keep it simple. Learn to be patient, i.e. set it and forget it, which is a way of making oneself patient. What about the plan? You said, do you have a plan? And why is it people don't work to a plan? Why is it most people don't seem to have a solid plan?
Okay. Yeah. I mean, let's talk about my plan, right? So when I trade, I first look at the daily chart or the weekly chart, and when I can really find something like where Bitcoin would go, or I can see this could be a potential bottom, or so I have two wallets. One is a trading wallet, and I check into it every day, and one that I look at every week, and it really just separates my mindset into the short term and the long term. So I always start with the long term and see that the things are in place, and it usually doesn't change much day to day. After that, I would dive into 4-hour charts, look at volume a little bit, look at simple indicators like RSI, moving averages, analyze some price action, and think to myself, if there is a perfect entry or a perfect trade that I would want to take, where would that entry be? And 99% of the time it's not right now. So I would never really enter a market order. I always have a limit order in place. If it fills, it's fine. If it doesn't fill, it's just a missed opportunity. You haven't lost any money. So that's important to remember, that you either want to trade or you want to miss the opportunity, and that's completely fine because there's going to be a new trade every day. So that's basically my plan. And I think most people don't have a plan because people are not taking crypto seriously, and it's as simple as that. People have their jobs, they have family to deal with. Anytime during the day, they can look at their phone and open Binance. They want to trade, and they want to buy or sell something. And it might even be that they're just too impatient. They want to make money. On Twitter, there's always analysts saying this coin's going to boom and 2x tomorrow, and they just want to buy into that. So it's really just some immaturity in the crypto space, because most of us came here to get super rich super fast, and I got rid of that mentality, but many people still haven't.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's understandable. It's understandable because some of these coins just do such insane 100x's. It can happen here. You said, though, that, and I'll quote you, you said that most are here for the emotional ride. Why do you think that?
So, I mean, think to yourself, right? When I started out, I wanted to, because I can feel myself being a bad trader because I used to be a bad trader. And the only thing I really thought about was either getting really rich, because maybe it's just me because I was still, I think I was 17 when I started crypto, but I just wanted to get really rich, or I would just lose my money, and I didn't mind that. And when I talk to members, when I look at people who DM me, I thought that mentality was gone after the 2018 crash, because I haven't been thinking about it lately. But when I respond to DMs, I mean, I'm pretty straightforward, and a lot of them,
Bitman. Bitman. I've lost you. Bitman.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yay! You're back. Do you know what? I lost you for about 10 seconds. Can you go back? You said you would say you were telling me about people who just entered the crypto space. You thought this mentality had gone, but it's still here. This
Yeah, it
emotion,
is.
that people who are in for this sort of emotional ride.
It is, right? You put $1,000 into BitMEX, you lose it all. You put another 1,000 in, you convert it to 5,000. You put all 5,000 in, you lose it all. You put another 1,000 in, and a lot of people continue like that. And um, I know people that are making money that are much more patient, but I mean, most of the DMs that I still get are, deeply filled in with that mentality. And it was shocking when I started Twitter, because I was kind of over it, but it's still there. It's still out there.
I mean, were you ever like that? That's inveterate gambling. People who are just right. It's not enough. Bang.
Mm.
It's more about the rush than the actual money.
Yeah, and I think it is exactly that. Bitcoin is such a speculative asset. It's volatility is just amazing to trade with. It's a dream for traders, but it's also a dream for gamblers. And um, most of us are risk averse, and if you are risk averse, you will make money because you will want to find a way. But deep inside, I still think that a lot of people here are risk loving, in the sense they're not really here to make money, but just be here because it's innovation, it's cool, it's technology, and you can put some money into it and play with it. So yeah.
But where does risk aversion start? Because I think people who are risk averse, like I've spoken to successful traders before, and generally they're not who the archetype of a trader is. He loves the risk. He loves
Hmm.
putting it all on the line. He's completely wild and crazy, doing lines of coke and getting all the girls in and all this kind of stuff. And you know, but the traders that I've met who are successful are really kind of conservative. I wouldn't say
Hmm.
nerdy, but in a
Hmm.
way they just know how to do the numbers, and they're not risk takers. They're risk averse. Where do you
Hmm.
think risk averse starts? Should it be, or is it something you're just born with, or you're brought up with? Like, can
Hmm.
it be changed? It's because if you're not risk averse in your daily life, how then can you carry it over into trading? It would be impossible.
Hey, so risk aversity is a quality that's present in most of us, actually. But think about it this way: like if a man is making $10,000 a month, and he's putting $500 into crypto, I mean, how much does he really care about that 500? And at that point, it becomes gambling. He is risk averse, and he's not going to put 10K, his entire salary into crypto. So he is already risk averse, but that's his play money. And when it gets to that, he loves risk. For traders, we know that if we just kind of grind it out, and if we put a set capital per trade, with a win rate of 60 to 70%, at the end of the day, at the end of the month, we are going to be able to net our 10 to 15% profit that we're looking for. And that's really what I look for. Um, so cut out the buzz, keep on taking your trades one trade at a time. And it's actually super boring at times. You have to find ways to make it exciting. You got to take a break. But trading is not something which you should be emotionally excited about, because at that point, you just want to look at the charts. You want to see how much money you're making. When it goes into, when you're losing money, you don't want to cut the trade because you're like, oh, it's going to go back up. It's going to go back up. When it goes up, you want to make more money. You get greedy, and in the end, it doesn't end well.
Yeah, interesting. So for yourself, Bitman, when did it change for you? When did you turn that corner from being a bad trader? Because you did say that you were a bad trader once. What happened? Can you remember? Was it a day? Was it a moment? Or was it something that happened gradually?
Yeah, I mean, I remember it was only 3 years ago, or 2.5 years ago, right? In cryptocurrencies. So when the 2018 crash happened, I lost 75% of my capital. I wouldn't really call myself a trader. I would just call myself somebody who heard of cryptocurrencies and wanted to make money. So when I lost 75% of my capital, and I was just feeling really bad because, uh, you lose so much money so fast, and you could have done so much more with it. Um, I mean, after that crash, I started looking at Twitter a little bit, people posting charts. I started looking at YouTube, people making predictions, talking about the charts. And I was like, okay, this is something everybody's on TradingView. Maybe I should go to TradingView and look at a couple ideas. And at that point, I started testing different things. So it happened pretty gradually. You first start to learn TA. You realize it's not really enough to make money. You have to be mature emotionally if you really want to make money. And it gradually happens trade by trade. And you kind of just want to be the best version of yourself. In the end, you're not competing with anybody because you know that I think 90% of Twitter is bullshit, to be completely honest. They're not trading, and I can see that they're just not trading. They're just analysts. They have no skin in the game when they're talking about stuff. If somebody's going to pitch 5 coins, one of them goes up, they're going to post about it. If the other 4 don't, they just forget it. And for a trader, he needs to take care of every single trade. So, I think that successful traders are just competing with themselves month after month and refining their strategy.
Yeah, I think one of the books that I read when I first started out was Alexander Elder. Have you read this one?
No,
I
I
think
haven't.
it's let me see.
Tell
What's
me
it
about
called?
it.
I'm going to try. What's the name of it? I will have to cut this bit out. iBooks. That's on my YouTube account, isn't it? Anyway, I think it's called The Psychology of Trading. And he says that the goal of a trader is not to be rich. The goal of a trader is to get better at trading.
Yeah,
and it's a constant goal to just get better and better. And the goal of a trader should be to be excellent at trading, not excellent at making money and excellent at being rich. Or it's actually a skill.
That's the beauty of it, because the market is always right, and you just cannot get it 100% no matter how much you try. So just thinking yourself as a learner every single day, trying to improve yourself. The money will come as long as you have that mentality.
And okay, can trading be taught to a gambler?
If the gambler wants to change, why not?
I'm in this kind of position now where I've pulled everything out. I mean, I've got my investments, whatever you want to call them, but I pulled it all out. And I'll tell you one thing: I was gambling in lots of areas of my life that I shouldn't have been doing it, but it was an addiction. I was also addicted to other substances before. I was into drink and drugs and all this, and I managed to kick that. And then I discovered gambling, and it's been about a month, and I've managed to stay away. And it's had this knock-on effect in my life where everything I'm looking at being a risk, like just risk averse in all my areas of life. I find it very difficult to spend my money now. I don't want to spend my money. I want to save it as much as I can. I get paid quite well in my job, what I do here in the UK. And I was burning it, unimaginable amounts. Trading, so I'm scared to go back into it. I'm just thinking to myself, maybe it's better if I don't trade at all. I just dollar cost average. So I'm really asking the question on behalf of myself: is it possible to reform a gambler?
Hey, look, I used to be a gambler and I reformed myself, so there's no reason I would say you can't. I think everybody can to an extent if they take it seriously. And take it small steps at a time. If you're able to take a paper account seriously, then try with the paper account. If it doesn't really get you going, then put a couple $1,000s in and set some rules for yourself. Print a sheet of paper with some rules, like I would only risk a certain percentage of my capital per trade. I will only take one trade a day. If I lose money and my stop loss hits, I will not take any other trades for that day because I'll be emotional. So revenge trading is never going to help. I think if you just set some basic rules for yourself and follow them, it's going to work out.
Cool. Well, do you have a screen share available?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So if you want to do a little, you said you're going to do a little bit of TA for us live.
Sure, man. I'll just share my latest view on Bitcoin and a couple other coins, I guess. Can you see my screen?
I can, yeah. So this is
Okay.
today, guys. I'm going to try and get this up. If not tonight, it'll be tomorrow morning, but I'll get this up as soon as I can.
Sure. So, I mean, I'm at the Brave New Coin Liquid Index for Bitcoin. This is the weekly chart, and just keeping it simple for everybody to understand. We are in a consolidation phase for 2.5 years. We made a high at 20K, went down, made a low at 3.2K, high at 14K, and then 10.5K, low at 3.8K. So Bitcoin's really just been consolidating, and we are at a crucial point right now where breaking 10.5K would mark a new high for the first time in 2.5 years. And, that is bullish confirmation for me personally. If I just switch to this chart, yeah, I posted it on Twitter, I think roughly 1.5 months ago. And so this is a descending wedge. And I said on Twitter that break 10.5K and Bitman is bullish. And I think it's been 7 weeks since then. We went up to 10.1, keep on touching 10.5K, 10.3K, but we haven't managed to break it. So in my view, at this point of time as an investor, it's a good time to take profits in the 10K range, because if you had been dollar cost averaging when we fell to 3.8K, I started dollar cost averaging at 5K all the way until 7K. So I had my average entry at 6.2K. And last week I kind of exited half my Bitcoin. I sold half my Bitcoin at 10.1K. So in my view, I'll buy back if you can take 10.5K as support, and that's my view on the long term. If you want to switch to the 4-hour chart, maybe.
Just one question there. How do you know that it's found support, and what time frame are you looking at specifically? Right, that's confirmed. I've confirmed 10.5 as a support level.
Okay.
What are your favorite? What? Yeah.
So, like I said at the beginning, I have an investing wallet and I have a trading wallet. So right now, I'm just speaking about the investing wallet, and
Okay.
I only check weekly or daily charts or monthly charts when it comes to that. So if you can close a weekly candle above 10.5K, at that point I would enter. And if we break 10.5K, I think it'll be a fast journey all the way until at least 12.5K to 14K. And I would enter somewhere around once you close a weekly candle above 10.5K. I would enter again whatever I sold as an investor. So that would be bullish for me, but the best way to know that we have taken support is close a weekly candle above 10.5K, retest it as support. And if you can do that, and at that point, that's bullish confirmation.
Okay.
Sometimes you try to get 100% information as a trader, but that's never possible, because if you want 100% confirmation, the trade is gone. So you just kind of have to react to 60 to 65% of information and take the risk.
Yep.
Okay, I think if Okay, switching over to the 4-hour chart. So this would be more about trading. I usually don't go below the 1-hour chart because I'm a swing trader. Most of my trades last around 1 day, or 1 day to 5 days on average usually. So I'm looking for 5 to 10% moves on Bitcoin, or I would look for at least a 10 to 20% move on an altcoin. Um, so, if we look at this, turn on the moving averages. So this dotted black line, this is the 50 moving average on daily. And this golden line is the 100 moving average on 4-hour. And we are still stuck between these. So as soon as we can kind of break this diagonal resistance and break the 100 MA on 4-hour, that would be a opportunity to go long, right? And I'm still waiting for that. I kind of have my alert set here on my phone so that I can be notified whenever this happens. I did try to take a short yesterday, and I think I was stopped out, but it was pretty small. So um, I think this month as a whole has not been ideal um, to trade because I want more volatility as a trader, and I simply didn't get it. If you see, like, Bitcoin's been at 9.5K pretty much the entire month, and just been $500 plus minus from that range. Bob?
Yep, I'm here. Keep going. It's very
Oh,
interesting.
sure. Maybe we can switch to the Ethereum chart. So Ethereum, right? It's definitely very, very interesting. We have you know, clear support level here from before we had that huge COVID dip. So I think I posted on Twitter as well that this is really my buying zone, and this level would also be my buying zone for Ethereum. So we got the dip. We touched this level, and it was an entry point for me. But I think the best entry point for me yesterday was Tezos, because Tezos has a support level around here and a support level around here. So I think at this point, let me zoom in. I think at this point, I sent a message in the Bitman family that we may have missed the Tezos dip, because I charted this, but I never sent out a message to buy Tezos. And then at that point, I told them to set buy orders here and here, and both of them filled. So immediately, we were almost 10% up on Tezos. Uh, if you want to talk really small coins, maybe I can just talk about how I think I haven't really charted this properly. Maybe I can talk about, yeah. So what I look for when I'm trading shitcoins is that I want to establish a demand zone first. So I wouldn't be looking at any indicators. I would simply be looking at support levels, and that's exactly what I did with IOTEX as well. It's been so many years, and TradingView still doesn't save your drawings, so that's a bit annoying. But yeah, so you can see this sort of support zone for IOTEX. Touched it here, touched it here, touched it here, and at this point, it was I sent out a message again that if it drops here, have your buy orders here, and we can expect a breakout. So I think within 24 hours, it was roughly 19% up. So that was a good trade for me. So that's how I like to trade shitcoins, at least for now.
What's your kind of screen time? How are you? Are you? If you could put it into hours, what type of hours are you doing per day?
You mean how much time I spend trading
Yeah, in
every
front of
day?
the screen. Just being in screen time.
Oh, I don't think it's that much. It's probably 3 to 4 hours maximum at
Wow.
different points of the day, because I'm a swing trader. I'm not looking at 5 minute charts and trying to trade them, looking at 4 hour charts. So I would set my orders every single time, set my stop loss, set my targets, and just forget about it, because you know don't really, I try not to challenge my original plan, because original plan is always based on the chart. and most of what I do after that is purely emotions a lot of time. So I just set my orders and forget about it.
People can find you on Twitter. It's I am Bitman, isn't it? At
Yeah,
I
it
am
is.
Bitman. Yeah, have a look at him over there. You know, test him, see if he is what he says he is. He's, from what I understand though, he's a good trader. A friend of mine who is banging to trading loves him, and I've been in his group for a week, and but Bitman is the real deal from what I can see. Really good charting. His calls are making people print plenty of bread. So if you get time, go over to his channel, find out more.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
No problem.